Okay, so for a problem like this, where do you start? Well, it says u varies, so u equals k. Directly is y, so it's k times y, and inversely is w, so k times y over w. Now that's the beginning of the relationship, but not the whole relationship. That's the generic formula, but we can define the relationship further because they gave us more information. That more information is this right here, which will allow us to find the value of k and put k in there. It's not just enough to find k, you have to write the formula then again with k in there. So k is just a constant. You have to figure out what that constant is because it's different for each relationship. So 20 equals k times y is 5, and divided by w, which is 2. So now here we have two choices. We can either divide the 5 by 2 and get 2.5, or we can just multiply by 2 and divide by 5. Either way works fine. I'm going to do this. I'm going to divide by 2, so this is k times 2.5. I'm just putting in parentheses so you know that's 2.5, not 2 times 5. And so now we can divide by 2.5 to give us 20 divided by 2.5 is 8. So k equals 8. So what that tells us is that our relationship is u equals 8y over w. That is it right there. Either way would be fine. But as long as you get u equals 8y over w is what matters. Let's have you try another one since we're having so much fun with this. Yep. Yeah, k equals 8 would not be complete. You have to come back and fill it in like that. What's that? If they give you that kind of information, yes. If p varies directly with r, and bless you, the square root of t, and inversely with w. If p equals 9, when r equals 18, t equals 9, and w equals 6, find p when r equals 36, t equals 4, and w equals 2. I'll give you a second to try that before we go through. Let's do it. So you start off with p varies. So p equals k, directly with r, so times r, and the square root of t, so times the square root of t. And inversely with w, so over w, like that. No parentheses, nope, it's all multiplication and division. So now if p equals 9, when, so 9 goes in there equals k, when r is 18, so k times 18, times the square root of t is 9, over w is 2. So now, this is going to be 9 equals k times 18, square root of 9 is 3 over 2. 9 equals k. 18 times 3 is 54, divided by 2 is 27, so that's k times 27. Dividing by 27 gives us that 1/3 equals k. Oops, w is supposed to be 6, not 2. W is 6. So 54. That would make this 9, not 27. So now we divide by 9, k equals 1. 1 equals k. So what that means, k equals 1, P equals 1 times R, so it's just R times the square root of T over W. And find P when R is 36, T is 4, and W is 2. So this is going to be 36 times the square root of 4 is 2, divided by 2. 36 times 2 divided by 2 is 36. P equals 36. Questions? Comments? K equals 1. What do you think? Ready for a quiz on this stuff?
No.
No? You had a couple questions on the homework, Mike?
I didn't get any help. I did not understand where to start.
Okay, did you understand what we're doing here?
Yes.
Okay, that's what matters.
But the way all that homework was worded didn't sound like that.
They got it a little more complex in the homework, yes. Yep.
How about doing one of the word problems on the pad?
Sure, which one?
Let's do 17.
17. Okay, let's take a peek. The area of a triangle, so we're going to call this A, varies jointly. So varies equals K is the length of the base, B, and the height. So it looks like that. So now then, what do they give us?
There's the triangle is 12. Base is 3, height is 8.
So 12 equals K times 3 times 8. So 12 equals K times 24. Divide by 24, 1/2 equals K. That shouldn't be a surprise since we've always been told the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, right?
Yeah.
So now we know that. Find it when the base is 10 and the height is 5. It's going to give you 25. What do you think? Okay, I promised I would do one example quick before I forced the test down your throat and made you take it home. We're going to look at something like this. A porch truss. And let's do a 16-12 slope and a 16-12 slope and a 4-12 slope. We're going to have X and Y here. And let's say that we are going to, what do I want to do here? Let's say this is 24, let's not do 24 feet. Let's do 18 feet there. It'll be easier. 18 feet. What's that? Okay, glad you can share. So we have a 72-foot span. Go with that. So find for me H, X, and Y. X, Y, and H. I'm just doing one of my class videos that I got to look through. So anyway, what we have here, what do we know about X and Y? X plus Y adds up to 72 minus 18 is 54. What else do we know? Well, generally the way we solve this is we're going to put in lines here and here we'll define this to be A and this to be B, correct? So we know that A plus B equals H. But we can find H. Let's do that right now. How do we find H? Okay, out of this triangle right here, 16 over 12 is our slope, equals a rise of H over a run of 18. And cross multiplying and dividing tells us that H equals 24. Which tells us that this equation here can be rewritten as A plus B equals 24. So we get rid of the variable H right off the bat. It's gone. We don't need it no more. Now what? Well, right now, how many variables do we have? 4. How many do we know how to solve for? 2 or 3, right? If we had 4 equations, we could solve 4 variables, but we don't have 4 equations. We have 2 equations. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with 2 other equations that allow us to get rid of one of those variables. So let's look at that green triangle there. It has a 16, 12 slope. 16 over 12 equals A over Y. Right? Y is the bottom down here. This is Y here, from here. So we cross multiply. 16 times Y is 16Y. 12 times A is 12A. 16Y equals 12A. We are going to solve for Y or A. It doesn't matter. Let's solve for Y. Divide by 16. So Y equals 3/4 A. So what it means is up here, Y is going to be replaced with 3/4 A at some point. Now we can do the same with this triangle here. It's a 4/12 slope. 4 over 12 is going to equal, what's its rise? This is B over this is X. So B over X. We cross multiply. 4 times X is 4X. 12 times B is 12B. Giving us that 4X equals 12B. Then what? We solve for X. Sure. Divide by 4. X equals 3B. So we're going to come up here. X can be replaced with 3B. So I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. I'm going to take this equation here, and I'm going to write it as 3/4 A plus 3B. Why did I change the order of them? Because I wanted A first and B second. This equation here, I'm going to multiply by a -3. Why am I going to do that? Make the B go away. So -3 times A is a -3A. -3 times B is a -3B. Equals -3 times 24 is a -72. And then what? We add them. Very good. 3/4 plus a -3 is a -2 1/4 A. 3 and -3B cancel out. 54 and a -72 is a -18. And then we divide by a -2 1/4. Which ends up giving us that A equals anybody? Anybody? Not everybody at once. A equals 8. Very good. So once we know that A equals 8, now we can go back to this formula here. A plus B equals 24. Well, if A is 8, what's B got to be? 16. So A is 8, B is 16. Now that we know that, we know that Y is 3/4 of A. 3/4 times A. What is 3/4 times 8? 6. So Y is 6. X is 3b. So b is 16. 3 times 16 is 48. X is 48. What do you think? Good stuff? Better than a sharp stick in the eye? Well, the good news is I am giving you the test and you can take it home and you can work on it, which means you got benefit of your videos to go through. I might answer a couple of questions at the beginning of class tomorrow, but it will be due before you leave tomorrow, and I'm not going to give you a lot of time to work on it. So make sure you do as much as you can and have it ready to turn in tomorrow. Because we are going to start in on the angles and degrees, minutes, seconds, and stuff like that, radians and all that stuff tomorrow, so that we can get a good firm start into our trig before you go on spring break at the end of next week. So you guys will have the last 10 or 11 minutes here to get started on your tests. If you have any questions, let me know. I will answer some questions today. Like I said, tomorrow I might answer a couple of small questions, but you're not going to have a lot of time to work, so make sure you get done as much as you can tonight.
How come we made the bottom one negative? We times 12 by negative 3, but not the top one?
Because the top one has a 3b in it. Has a positive 3b in it. So to get rid of that, I needed a negative 3b in the other equation, so it was easy to multiply this one by a negative 3b to make it cancel out. Or negative 3 to turn it into a negative 3b. Trying to get rid of one of them. I could have multiplied by a negative 3/4 as well and made the a disappear. But why do I want to multiply by a fraction when I can multiply by a whole number? Any other questions?